Hello and welcome to the Fit and Free podcast. This is a podcast for women who want it all, to feel strong and confident in their bodies, as well as enjoying a sneaky mug on a Friday night. I'm an exercise physiologist and sports nutritionist, here to teach you how to achieve your body goals without food and your body controlling your life. So let's jump in. Hello, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Fit and Free podcast. I hope you're all having the best day. I apologize for my weird sounding voice. The last 4 days, I have just been so sick, laying on my couch doing sweet FA. Today, I am feeling good, except my voice. So please excuse the low sound, because this is just what we're working with. Anyway, I am excited about today's episode. When am I not excited about an episode? I feel like I say that every single week. But the reason why I'm excited is just because of the all-round vibes of the coziness and where I'm sitting down recording this episode. So just to give you a little bit of a context, if this is your first episode, hello. I'm currently in the Netherlands. We are traveling around at the moment. So our life is we've just been living out of a suitcase for almost 3 years now, which is absolutely crazy. But at the moment, we are in the Netherlands because that's where my fiance's family lives. So we are here spending some time with them, spent Christmas. And now we're just experiencing like a full-blown Netherlands winter, which is the first time I've ever done this proper. And this morning I woke up and I went for a walk. The sun doesn't rise until like 9 a.m. here. So it's like you get out of bed, and sometimes going outside is not the thing that you want to do, but we making do because it's like my favorite way to start my day. So anyway, go out and it's snowing. And I was like just walking around like an idiot, just being like so happy. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm getting so wet, because it's like, the weather here is weird. It's not like minus cold. It's just like 0 degrees -1. So like it snows, but then the snow, as soon as it was hitting my jacket, it would just melt straight away. So it would go to water. So around me, it was just like all wet. So it was a bit like not really a vibe, but it didn't kill my spirits. I was loving it. Then I came home and I was making some toast before my live masterclass that I ran this morning. And it was just like the snowflakes were actually so big, and they were just coming down, and I was standing outside on the balcony and they were just like trickling down. And I was like, oh, this is what I signed up for. This is exactly why I wanted to come to Europe in the winter. I had so many people calling me crazy because it's like, oh my God, like it's going to be so cold. It's going to be so rainy. But I'm like, I just spent the last 6 months in Bali, and, I would walk outside and the humidity would be so bad that I would just sweat my tits off, that I was just like, I'm ready for slippers, tracky pants, tea, cozy vibes, and I am absolutely loving it. I'm super excited because we have decided on what the plan is next, but I am not going to tell you guys yet. But I am very, very excited about 2025 and the decisions that Niels and I have made this year, which is cool. But that's a little bit of a life update. So I want to move now into today's episode, because it is a conversation that we need to have, because so many people are making this mistake. I too made this mistake for a really long time when it came to changing my body composition. And this is the conversation about, I am eating healthy. I am doing all of the things. I'm eating vegetables. I'm eating really well. I'm eating clean, but I am not seeing the results that I want. Maybe you're not losing weight. Maybe you're not toning up. Maybe you have a lot of stubborn fat in and around your belly, and you might be feeling really frustrated, and you just might be like, what the F am I doing wrong? This is so frustrating. Like, I'm putting in all of this effort and I literally have nothing to show for it. So if you are stuck in this situation, know that you're absolutely not alone. I struggled with this for years because I just didn't understand nutrition as a whole. I always say this, and if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, is what you guys just have to realize is nutrition is a skill. And once you understand the skill, just like riding a bike or driving a car, it's actually really, really simple once you get it. And it's essentially, it's just an education gap and it's a lack of knowledge that are causing people to be stuck in this cycle of spinning their wheels with nothing to show for it. Because literally the difference between those who are successful with toning up their bodies and ones who are not are actually the ones that understand nutrition. Because just eating healthy doesn't actually mean you're understanding nutrition and that you're fueling your body in the optimal way. And it's this missing link and it's this missing piece that may be holding you back from achieving the body that you want. So let's get into it. See, the mistake that people are making here is they think that just eating healthy is going to be enough to lose weight. So many people are choosing, nutrients dense, wholesome foods, and they're thinking that this is going to be enough to lose weight. But the problem with this is just because you're eating healthy and just because you're eating whole foods, just because you're eating high protein, doesn't mean that's going to create a calorie deficit for you and therefore lose the fat that you want. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about what's in your diet. It's also about how much you're consuming, what foods you're eating, how those foods interact with your metabolism, and how they're contributing essentially to your overall intake. And I get it. I get why so many people get stuck with this is because of marketing. Marketing is so freaking clever and it can convince us on a lot of things, especially when it's like honing in on our own insecurities. Like I remember back when I hated my stomach. Like it literally controlled how I ate, how I trained, how I thought, how I showed up every single day. It was like I just hated my stomach so much that it just impacted so many areas of my life. So it was a part of me that I was so insecure about. So when I was insecure, I was very open to marketing messages that weren't necessarily true, but I thought they were true because I was just so insecure about my stomach. I just started believing it. I just started believing that low carb is good, that 1,200 calories is good, that running off my food was good, that vegan was good, that paleo was good. Because at the end of the day, I was just so desperate to change my body composition and to get a flat stomach and to get abs. But the problem with this is that, the dieting industry is it's a multi-billion-dollar industry and it is designed to take advantage essentially of women's insecure and men for that matter, their insecurities. And it breaks my heart when there is so many misleading information, especially on nutritional food labels and on food itself, that the company is so clever that it is marketing its product as healthy or better than another alternative. And when you actually look down into the nitty-gritty in the ingredients, a lot of the time, it's not actually that much better for you than just like the normal product that is advertised as just like normal. And let's use and I'm going to give you a couple of examples of this. So I remember walking into Coles and going up to the wraps, like sandwich wraps in the aisle, and I go to compare a couple of the nutritional labels. And this one in particular, I'm going to drop names. It was the Mission brand, and it was the spinach, the green wraps. And I was looking at the packet and it was marketed in a really clever way. It was like, it's spinach, it's got extra antioxidants, it's got, more vegetables. So quote unquote, this is giving me really good signs that this wrap is better than just the white wraps. And I know, just looking at that, I know a lot of people will probably be thinking the same thing. Again, marketing is very clever. Then when you actually turn around and read the nutritional label of the green wrap, when you look at the ingredients, the green spinach wrap only had 1% of spinach. And then it also had extra natural colors to make the wrap green. And when you actually compare the nutritional label of the two wraps, the white wrap and the green wrap essentially had the same amount of fiber, the same amount of carbohydrate, So essentially it's exactly the same, but it's just marketed in a different way. And it blows my mind because so many people are going to think like that's healthier and that's better and that's going to help me, reach my goal. And when in reality, it's not. It's exactly the same as choosing the white wrap. And I will say something here. I'm not saying that, a white wrap is necessarily bad, but what I'm saying is this is happening all of the time where food companies are marketing their products as something that is healthier and better for you. And then a quote unquote, it's going to help you lose weight when in reality, it's actually not. Another really good example of this is grilled. So I love grilled. Grilled is, if you do not know, grilled is just like a fast food-ish sort of restaurant in Australia where they serve like healthy, quote unquote, burgers. And they have a special bun. It's called like the low carb bun. Because when you order your burger, you've got 3 options. You've got the traditional bun, you've got the panini, and then you've got the low carb option. You can tell that I love grilled, right? And so like when you look at that from just a marketing point of view, so many people are going to be thinking, I thought this for a really long time as well. Like you look at that third option, you look at that low carb bun and you're like, oh, that low carb bun is going to help me with weight loss. That low carb bun is better for me because it's got low carbs. However, when you actually look at the nutritional value and compare the 3 buns together, the traditional bun, the normal one with sesame seeds, actually has less calories than the low carb bun. And at the end of the day, when it comes to losing weight, calories are going to be king. They really are. So many people, again, they're picking this low carb option thinking that it's better because they've been marketed to, when in reality, it's actually got more calories than the normal one, than the normal carbohydrate bun. And so therefore choosing the low carb is actually probably going to move them further away from their weight loss goal. And you guys, I'm not telling you this because we have to get like so caught up in the nitty gritties of calories and we have to do this. This is good. This is bad. No, what I'm saying is that you've got to be aware and you've got to realize that this is happening to us left, right, and center. And this is why it's so important to be building the nutritional skill and understanding nutrition from a principles level. Because if you go to grilled and you're thinking, the low carb bun is going to be better, it's going to be less calories, blah, 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 you're probably going to eat it. And then you're probably going to be probably left unsatisfied because that bun tastes like, I don't know if I've ever had it, but I could just guess that bun's going to be probably unsatisfying, going to taste a little bit like cardboard. And then you're probably wanting to have something else because it didn't hit the spot. In comparison, if you just had the normal bun, which is less calories, you're probably going to feel satisfied. You're going to feel happy. You're going to be like, yeah, that was great. And then you're going to move on, which essentially is going to help you achieve your goals a hell of a lot easier. So this is why education is key. And it's a lot of, so many people are missing this because of the influence from marketing, it's making us choose worse options. And that's why this is why I'm so big on teaching my clients actually about nutrition and understanding food and understanding macronutrients and micronutrients and how they actually need to fuel their body in relation to their goal. Because at the end of the day, eating healthy, it is fantastic for your overall health. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, when it comes to seeing results in your body, you do have to be conscious and aware of the total calories that you are consuming. And no, you do not have to do it in an obsessive way. Absolutely not. But you do have to be aware because it's the awareness that is going to, allow you to actually know how much food and how much of the macronutrients that you need to eat to see changes within your body. Because, it's crazy to just how much portion sizes can really affect your overall weight loss and fat loss goals. And I was thinking about that this morning because at the moment, I'm going to do a full episode about this, but if you don't know, I have been eating at the start of last year, I ate in my first calorie surplus, and then I was maintaining it for a long time. And now I'm deciding to enter a dieting phase, which I'm super excited about. And I'm so ready for it. But I was thinking about this when I was serving up my oats this morning. So for brekkie, I'm just having like a big bowl of oats with protein powder, blueberries. So always thinking about what's my carb, is my oats, my protein is my protein powder, my fiber is going to be, of course, from my oats and from my blueberries, and then my fat source being peanut butter. Love it. And now that I've entered a calorie deficit phase is like I eat the same thing whether I'm at maintenance or I'm in a calorie deficit, but I just change around my portion sizes a little bit, and that's as easy as it has to be, you know? And I was thinking about this and I was like, the difference, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter can make is like, it's important to be aware of. And again, we don't have to get super obsessive and we don't have to be like, oh, do we eat too much? Blah, blah, blah. But there is a moment where we do have to be aware of how many calories that, that peanut butter that we're putting in our food and what that is essentially going to do to our body composition. Because essentially, like, if you double that serving of peanut butter, all of a sudden you're up, an extra 100 calories than what you need to be, which could be, the sole reason why you're not seeing the actual results that you want in your body. The same thing with your carbohydrate portion and your protein portion. Like simply like just not getting those portion sizes right of each of your macronutrients. Maybe you're having more, a little bit too much pasta and not enough protein. And like that itself can, be the reason why you don't see the results that you want in your body. Because at the end of the day, it does come down to the total calories and the balance of the macros. And I don't mean to scare you with any of this. It's just being aware. Because this awareness is going to be the key for you to actually see the results that you want. So at the end of the day, like if you are putting in like, so much effort, you're eating healthy, it's like it could be as simple as like really checking in with your portion sizes, making sure you're nailing your macros, and then also making sure you're aware of your total calories that you're consuming. And no, you do not have to track calories. Absolutely not. I do not track calories. Most of my clients are not tracking their calories because you can do nutrition without it, like literally learning about portion sizes and grams of food and what that actually needs to look like for you. But it's if you do have a body composition goal, there has to be, you do have to take a level of ownership and responsibility of learning about, how to actually fuel your body with the right portion sizes so you're actually seeing the results. And, learning about your portion sizes and understanding how to fuel your body can actually really help you with your relationship with food as well. Because I see so many women who are afraid of carbs, who are overwhelmed with food and don't know what to eat. And then they get into this mindset of like, oh my God, this has this many calories and this has this many calories, la, la, la. Learning your portion sizes can help you break through that. And the reason being is because once you understand that, you have to eat carbs and you have to eat fats and you have to eat protein to see changes in your body, all of a sudden eating a piece of bread or eating a croissant or even eating a donut, even eating some ice cream, all of a sudden isn't so scary because you understand what that food is. All bread is, all pasta is, all donuts are just carbohydrates. Yes, they don't have as much fiber as, brown rice or whole grain bread or, wholemeal pasta, things like that. But just because it's, it's not wholemeal or whole wheat doesn't mean it's off limits. That just means you need to reach your fiber intake through other sources through the day. Maybe that's, you're making sure that you're eating a lot of vegetables, some fruit to tick off that fiber intake. Okay, so it's, not only is it going to help you reach your body composition goals, but it's also going to help you build a healthier relationship with food because you're also going to learn how to incorporate all of these things in a really healthy and a really balanced and delicious way. One thing I just want to end this episode with is another example of this whole I'm eating healthy. Actually, no, I've got 2 examples that I want to talk about. And it's the first one is I want to talk about like the high protein desserts. It breaks my heart is because so many people think that they can only eat a dessert if it's high protein. But what happens when we get stuck in this loop of only eating high protein is a few things will happen. Is number one, it's only going to increase our sugar cravings. It's only going to increase our want to have, these unhealthy / bad foods, because essentially we're not allowing ourselves to eat them. So we're like, we want them, which then will set us up for a massive, binge restrict cycle. And again, it's such clever marketing because, people, brands are very aware. They're very aware that high protein is a very big buzzword at the moment. And it has been for a while now. And yes, eating a high protein diet is very important. It absolutely is. And a lot, 85% of the population are not eating enough protein, and that's a fact. And at the same time, it's like, to my ladies who are eating everything high protein because they think that that's better, then I'm here to tell you that once you hit your protein intake for the day, once you're eating, for a female, it's between 120 and 140 grams, basically, give or take, depending on your unique situation. But sometimes it's 100 grams up to 140. I don't think I've ever, given a protein target more than 140 before, because essentially it depends on your height and weight, right? So once you hit your protein target for the day, then eating more protein on top of that is, it's not really going to help you in any more way. So it's if you're already reaching the protein target, which can easily be done with 3 meals that are about 35 to 40 grams of protein, then maybe you're putting in a Greek yogurt of a snack. So that's, that's going to meet your quota. What's 3 times 4 is 112 plus 15 grams is 135. That's 135 grams of protein. And, if you're 160 to 168 centimeters, that's to 170, that's going to be your target, right? And you can easily do that through your meals. So then why would you then have a high protein dessert? It's not going to be as satisfying as just normal chocolate. And then it's probably because you don't ever allow yourself to have the good dessert is when you probably binge them on the weekend. So, and this is why, understanding nutrition is so important, because so many people are doing these things just because they think they should. They think it's good. And the same thing with the high protein everything. It's well, yeah, just because something is high protein doesn't make it better than something that's low protein. So while, yeah, it's better to help you reach your protein intake, it doesn't mean that it's better from a complete nutritional value, right? Because at the end of the day, you need protein, you need fats, and you need carbs. And how you set that up through your day is going to be so unique to you, because it depends on what you like to eat. So again, it's just that point of the marketing messaging making us believe that high protein is best, that we shouldn't eat carbs and fats, when it's actually wrong, because carbs, what are they for? They're your body's favorite source of energy. You eat them, the body breaks it down into glucose, which is literally used for energy, right? And we need that. We need that when we're training, when we're exercising, when we're running around with the kids, when we're at work. You need the energy. And the same with fats. They play a vital role in the body as well. They're your omegas, your omega-3s, your omega-6s, right? They are responsible for hormone health, for, hair, skin, and nails, to making your skin bright, right? Fats are super important as well. And, if we're not eating enough of those because we're eating everything high protein, you're going to run into nutritional deficiencies, and you're also going to feel like shit. So the point of all of that is it just comes back down to that marketing messaging and understanding that just because something is marketed in a certain way, just because something is healthy, doesn't mean it's going to help you achieve your body composition goals. And the last one, my last example that just annoys me a little bit, is an acai bowl. Let's compare an acai bowl with a bacon and egg McMuffin from McDonald's. Whilst acai bowls, freaking love them. I'm so excited to get back to Oz, and probably one of the first things I do is probably go to Oatberry and get an acai bowl, because I love them. However, an acai bowl is, it is nutrient rich, it's nutrient dense, and it's energy dense. And, a lot of people will think, an acai bowl, that's healthy. And then maybe they're thinking, a McDonald's, bacon and egg McMuffin, that's not so healthy. I shouldn't be eating that. I should be eating an acai bowl. But again, when you actually look at the nutritional value of these foods, a bacon and egg McMuffin from McDonald's is actually a really good option, because you've got your carbs, fats, and proteins. Let's break it down. You got your bacon and you got your egg is your protein, and then you've got your fat, you've got some cheese, and you've got the egg a little bit, and then you've got your carbohydrates from the English muffin. And it comes in around like 340 calories or something like that, versus an acai bowl, which can come in at like 600. And again, I'm not saying one is better than the other, and I'm not saying that one is bad and one is good. What I am saying is that we just have to be aware that eating healthy, quote unquote, especially when it's marketed to us in a certain way, is going to help us achieve our weight loss goals. And it's you building the awareness and you understanding how to fuel your body correctly with the right nutrients, with the right macros, and most importantly, the right amount of calories so that you can achieve your body composition goals as well. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you so much more than you know. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Send me a DM on Instagram. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.